Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Grish Grigado softball field on the great Babe Ruth complex, and welcome to the 23rd championship John Holland Memorial Tournament game. Started back in 1997 with the four Lynn schools. Lynn Tech dropped out after 1 year. Swampscott dropped in, and they've been in since 1998. The Conley and the Holland family ran it for years. They were great. They gave a lot of scholarship money out. And then they just to the point where it just got to be too much with families getting older and moving away and kids getting jobs. And so it looked like it was going to die. And Babe Ruth took it over. I think this is the second or third year Babe Ruth. Jeff Herb, Dave Raymond. I'll stop there because I'll miss somebody. They've done just a tremendous job. They did a great job here because this field, if you walk by and spill a glass of water on it, it floods. And this morning at 7 o'clock, it rained hard, and they had to come back after fixing the field and do it again. So Dave Raymond and those guys just did a tremendous job getting this field in shape for this tournament. Slice to right field on the run. Tried to make the one-handed catch and dropped it. Mackenzie Shea had it. Christina Nowicki will reach on the error. Felicia D'Alessandro, the second baseman, will be the hitter. They run, and they steal second base, standing up. St. Mary's has won almost half of them. 23, this is the 23rd. Actually, they've won half of them. They've played 22. St. Mary's has won 11. Swampscott is the next in line with 6. Classical's looking for their 5th. Classical won the first tournament. English won the second. English hasn't won since. Classical has won 4. St. Mary's has done it in bunches. They get the bunt down. Warren makes the nice play over to Kayla Morrow. So D'Alessandro gets the sacrifice down. It goes 1-4 for the out. Nowicki's at 60 feet away from giving St. Mary's a lead. St. Mary's won 5 in a row, 2010 to 14. They've won 2 of the last 3. From 16 to 18. They've won 7 of the last 9. The only other team to win back-to-back was Swampscott. So St. Mary's looking for number 12. Hit to first base. Wilkins will make the play. Porozinski just got a little tap. Amanda Wilkins picked it off at first base. So now there's 2 outs for the runner at third. Talia Smaller, the first baseman, is the hitter. In for a strike. Brooke Warren on the mound. Classical in their green and gold. St. Mary's in their blue and gold. This is Northeastern Conference. Classical against Classical Northeastern Conference. St. Mary's the Catholic Central. So St. Mary's has a threat. They have a runner at third with 1 out. Warren bears down and gets 2 pop-ups, 1 to first, 1 to second. And St. Mary's, looking like they were going to get on top, do not. So the error doesn't hurt Classical. I'll give you this I didn't give you the St. Mary's batting order. I'll do that when they bat in the second inning. Lily Newhall is on the mound for the Spartans. For Glasgow, it'll be Maggie McHale, the center fielder, leading off. Amanda Wilkins, the first baseman, will hit second. Batting third and playing second, Kayla Morrow. In the cleanup spot is the left fielder, Kiara Edmonds. Shortstop, Becca Walker, will hit number 5. Catching and batting sixth, Maddie Dana. The pitcher, Brooke Warren, will hit number 7. Batting eighth and playing third base, Izzy Fessler. And the designated player, Kira Collins, will hit number 9. She's hitting for the right fielder, Mackenzie Shea. And I suppose I can give you the batting order for St. Mary's right now while they're waiting to hit. For St. Mary's, Christina Nowicki, the center fielder, leads off. Felicia D'Alessandro, the second baseman, bats second. Batting third and playing short, Sam Porozinski. The first baseman, Talia Smaller, hits number 4. Taylor Sullivan's the designated player, hitting for the pitcher, Newhall, batting 5th. Marina DiBiaso, the right fielder, bats 6th. Katie O'Neill will play 3rd and bat 7th. The catcher, Jordan Sullivan, hits number 8. And batting in the number 9 spot, picking up the tail end of the batting order, is the left fielder, Julia Nicolo. Something's got to give. Both teams have only lost 3. St. Mary's won a game more. They're 13-3. Classical is 12-3. And normally this would be the end, and they'd be waiting to see who they play in the state tournament. But with all the rainouts and the weather, Classical still has a couple of games to play. St. Mary's has at least one, I think. Kale takes it wide for a ball. Two of the perennial tournament teams each and every year here in the North Shore area, especially Lynn. In for a strike, 1-1. Again, a big tip of the hat to Jeff Earp, the president, and Dave Raymond, and a host of workers. There are quite a few guys that they get here and they really work on this field. They've got, you'd never know it rained. And I mean, I've been by here when it just missed and there's puddles all over the place. So Dave did a tremendous job, and Dave Raymond was really nervous because after working on the field and getting it ready last night, they stayed late. 7 o'clock this morning, it rained hard, and they thought, what are we going to do? They came down, they got it ready. Swing and a miss for strike 3. The Babe Ruth people are the best kept secret in America. They're here, they take care of, it's not their job. They don't have a softball program. They keep it up for the 3 Lynn schools that play here. And the 2 baseball fields and the backup and back of Callahan for the JV programs. And they're here, some of them are here almost 24/7. They make sure the fields are in shape. And then on top of that, they run the baseball program for Babe Ruth. They keep the fields. They make sure everything is clean. They run the tournaments. They get the uniforms. They supply the concessions. And they do it all for nothing. It's all volunteer. Just outstanding people. Amanda Wilkins takes the pitch low for a ball. The count is 1-2. Wilkins having a very good year for Classical, as most of these kids are, with only 3 losses. Up and away. And the count evens at 2. Hit foul off the backstop. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. It's up around 80. Everybody in T-shirts and shorts, and no heavy blankets, and no scarves and earmuffs, and just a gorgeous day. Picture blue sky. Swing and a miss. They'll have to throw her out at first base. Back-to-back strikeouts by Newhall. There are a bunch of big, puffy clouds, and they're all puffy white instead of all the dark black clouds we've seen. The worst baseball, softball season I have ever been through. I never in my life wore gloves to a baseball or softball game. I did it almost religiously this year. In for a strike, Kayla Morrow, the second baseman, multi-sport athlete, as a lot of these kids are. High for a ball. Louie Newhall is the niece of the athletic director, Jeff Newhall. Does an outstanding job running all the athletic programs at St. Mary's. Sliced the other way. It's going to go foul. Did miss by much outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Rams second baseman. St. Mary's defeated Swampscott. Classical beat English for the 3rd time. Hit up the middle into center field for a base hit. So the first hit of the game goes to Kayla Morrow. And Kiara Edmonds. Kiara helped the Classical girls basketball team make the state tournament. In for a strike. Nice stop by Jordan Sullivan. Kept it in front, kept the runner at first. Erica Richard in charge of the Rams. Paige Licata. St. Mary's, 2 of the better around. They do an outstanding job for their teams. Daniel Del Greco is one of the assistants for St. Mary's. The other one is Afton Dean, who I work religiously with. She does some play-by-play of basketball games. She's the video instructor at Classical. She was an outstanding athlete at Classical. Popped up behind first base. Foul ball. Erica Richards helped by Jenny Garrity, Ivy Martin, Megan Levitt, Courtney Tucker. Those are names from the past that I remember doing their games when they played. Jenny Garrity was a scholarship winner, one of the early scholarship winners out of this tournament. Wide for a ball. And we got our first deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Newell strikes out the side, all of them swinging. Gives up the base hit, but it's stuck at first base. So St. Mary's got a runner as far as third, shut down. Classical gets the first hit of the game, left at first, and we're right back where we started. We started dead even. We're still dead even. Classical nothing, St. Mary's nothing at the end of 1. Leads it off. She hits it high and deep to left field. Almost in her tracks. Kiara Edmonds makes the play. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Taylor Sullivan hit one out of here. Get out in a heartbeat, a 2-run home run to start the uprising for St. Mary's yesterday. Marina DiBiasio hits it in the air. Long run for the shortstop. Nice play. Becca Walker. There aren't many better than Becca. She hits the ball. She covers her. That's a great running catch. Had to worry about running into the fence. Outstanding defense by Becca Walker. And she does that on a regular basis. She was another basketball player that helped Classical make the state tournament. Katie O'Neill had 3 hits yesterday. One of them a big triple. She's the third baseman. But Becca Walker, smooth as silk at shortstop, makes the tough plays, make them look easy, and can hit it as well. Fouled off the backstop. Hit in the air to center field. Coming in a couple of steps, McHale. So after the first error, the leadoff hitter, Warren has retired 6 in a row. She sets St. Mary's down again in the second inning. And, you know, a perfect example of, I sound like a broken record, but I'm talking about the Babe Ruth people, but a perfect example is normally this weekend, their total concentration is on this tournament, making sure it goes well. Unfortunately for them, like the high school season, they've been bombarded with weather. They were trying to have opening ceremonies like 3 straight Saturdays, and it rained. They had to call them off. They finally just forgot about it, I guess. They had a small ceremony rather than the dignitaries and everybody. And they couldn't play any of those Saturdays, so they got a bunch of games. So they have been not only playing here at Babe Ruth, but they've been playing games at Frazier Field to try and get the schedule back on track. And now, talking about trying to concentrate on this tournament totally, they've got Babe Ruth games going on the 2 baseball diamonds behind me, trying to catch up. They normally don't play on Sunday, but they've got to try and catch up all the makeup games to get ready for their state tournaments. And this year, again, all those volunteers who don't make a nickel are going to run the majority, I think almost all of the state tournaments here at Breed and possibly at Frazier. And they may be running the New Englands again. So big tip of the hat to Jeff Earp and Dave Raymond and all of those great workers for Babe Ruth. You make a great play defensively, and you lead off the inning. Becca Walker did that great running catch out in foul territory in the top of this inning. Swing and a miss. I don't know where she's going to school, but wherever she's going, they're getting a good one. She's also a terrific young lady. Hit foul to the backstop. And that's why, more often than not, you'll hear me say, I wish you could get to know these kids the way I do. And I mean all of them. Not just the people who get their names in the paper or the major players. I'm talking about all of them. It's a treat for me to do what I do. Hit the second base. That's a nice play by the second baseman, D'Alessandro. That was hit very sharply. She had just enough time to take one step to her right and get a glove on it, and then got it over to the first baseman, Smaller. So they take a hit away from Walker. 1 up, 1 down. Maddie Dana, the catcher. St. Mary's here is trying to make it 2-for-2 tournaments. The St. Mary's boys edged out English in the Nipper Clancy final. And so St. Mary's would like to win this and make it 2-for-2. Maddie Dana, Classical, would like to win it and make it 2-for-2 for the Dana family. Her father is the head coach of St. Mary's. Swing and a miss. She was a third baseman last year. Catcher before that. She moved to third base when they needed her. She did very well. Swing and a miss. And when the catcher graduated, he moved her right back behind the dish, and she's done very well. Brooke Warren, the pitcher, will be the hitter. And obviously she's the daughter of the very successful former Classical girls softball coach. I think he seemed like he won the Northeast Conference every single year, went to the tournament every year. He had to give it up when he became vice principal. Erica Richard took it over and has done a very nice job ever since. And Erica Richard, as I am, is a graduate of St. Mary's. Started to pull the trigger and held up on a pitch that was in the dirt. 2-1 the count. High for a ball. 3-1. Newhall went 3 innings yesterday against Swampscott. Pepe finished up. Not too shabby when you got 2 very good pitchers. Hit foul. And you're going to have him for a while. Newhall's only a freshman. Pepe's only a sophomore. Held up for ball 4. Second base runner for Classical. Both have come with 2 outs. A hit, now a walk. Izzy Fessler, the third baseman, will be the hitter. Classical's got 3 pitchers as well. Abby Filer, daughter of the assistant baseball coach at St. Mary's, outstanding player. Does a nice job with St. Mary's. And they've got Ava Foglietta. Foglietta's only a freshman. Filer's only a sophomore. Brooke Warren is only a sophomore. Off the catcher in the dirt. That's going to move Brooke Warren over to second base. And I say Brooke Warren, they're running for her. I think it's Reese Brinkler. And for some reason, I always call her Sailor. right down the middle for a strike. And the count goes full, 3-2. Popped up right to the first baseman. Smaller makes the catch. So again, Classical gets a runner as far as first base. Newell records the third out. Still nothing to choose between these two teams. We played 2 full, and we're still right back where we started, dead even. Nothing. St. Mary's and Classical. Jordan Sullivan, she was another one that hit a 2-run shot over the left center field fence. Both Sullivans did it in the same inning, the second inning, and got St. Mary's out to a quick 4-0 lead with their 2 2-run home runs. And they were shots. High and tight for a ball. Brooke Warren starting her 3rd inning. Swing and a miss. Pop foul back and out of play. So it was 2-0. Warren comes back to make it 2-2. Jordan Sullivan, Julia Niccolo back to the top of the order. Christina Nowicki here in the 3rd inning. Missed outside for a ball. High for ball 4. Second time in 3 innings. St. Mary's has the leadoff hitter on. And I'm sure we're going to have a runner probably at first base. Alyssa Grossi is the runner at first base for Sullivan. They try to bunt. Amanda Wilkins came charging in. The bunt was popped in. It looked like it was going to be an out. They got a big break. It popped over the head of Amanda Wilkins. And Niccolo gets a base hit. She was trying to sacrifice. Wilkins charging in, and it popped over her head. And not only that, it stayed fair. Gotta figure there'll be a bunt here with 2 on and nobody out. Nowicki reached on an error her first trip. Up and in for a ball. Didn't show bunt. So the first hit for St. Mary's is the number 9 hitter, popping a bunt over the charging first baseman. And normally, when it's that high and it bounces, it usually just bounces and spins out of play. It wound up right inside the first base line. Morrow was over the first base looking for the put out. Wilkins couldn't come up with it because well over her head. So Mary's got a huge break. In for a strike. They draw the throw. They threw the ball down to second base. Alyssa Grossi got way off the bag at second. She was halfway, and they tried to throw it. She faked like she was going back to second. They threw the ball to second base. She stole third. So it's first and third with nobody out. And the amazing thing is, this Memorial Day weekend, the Clancy tournament, Frank Carey was doing the color with me, and we talked about that particular play. Nipper Clancy used that play. A lot of times he would have the runner with second and third would go a long way towards third base and slip and fall to draw a throw to try and steal a run. Or he'd do the same thing. He'd get way off halfway between second and third. Hopefully they throw the ball behind him. Nipper Clancy had that down to a science. He was an outstanding baseball coach, way before his time. So St. Mary's had a threat in the first, a runner at third with one out. Now they got first and third with nobody out on a outstanding base running, the pinch runner Grossi. The runner takes off. They throw it down. It's cut off by the shortstop Walker. So now it's second and third. Pop foul back out of play. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss. She gets her. Looked like she took something off. The wicket was out in front. Felicia D'Alessandro. Glasgow can look for anything here. She can bunt, she can slap. She sacrificed her first time up, moving the runner to third base. St. Mary's couldn't get the runner in. She squares, bunts. Wilkins tried to make the play. All out dive by Wilkins. And it just wasn't high enough. Great effort by Wilkins. D'Alessandro gets a base hit, an RBI. And it's second, third again with one out with a run in. And St. Mary's has jumped on top. Great effort by Wilkins. She was charging toward the plate. It got popped in the air again. That's two bunts that got popped up, and both of them wind up falling in. It wasn't high enough, this one. She gave an all-out effort diving out in front of the plate, trying to make the play. If she makes the play, it's a double play. The runner was coming. But it dropped for a base hit for D'Alessandro, and St. Mary's breaks the deadlock, and they grab a 1-0 lead, and they still have second and third with one out. Porozinski popped to the first baseman, her one trip. Down and away for a ball. Hit foul out of play. Off to the right side. Couple of dark clouds, the big puffy white clouds right over Breeden Middle School with the big blue sky. And otherwise, it's all clouds and a little bit dark. Hit in the air, short right field. Nice play by Mackenzie Shea. Everybody moves up. Nice running catch by Shea. Niccolo running well. Timed it perfect. Alessandro goes to third. Slid around the tag by the third baseman, Fessler. So a nice play by Shea. Took a base hit away from Porozinski. It turned out to be a sacrifice fly. Could have been worse. And Niccolo timed it perfect. It wasn't hit that deep. But as soon as it was caught, she was flying. Becca Walker covers a lot of ground. Looked like a base hit. Would have been another run. Walker goes back quite a few steps out left center field, out in the grass. Takes a base hit. And at least one run, it would have kept the inning going. But in the bottom of the third, St. Mary's breaks the deadlock. A leadoff walk hurt. 2 base hits and a sacrifice fly. Gets the run in. One of the hits was a bunt. Just out of the reach of Amanda Wilkins, who made a great effort. We'll move into the bottom half of the third. We mentioned St. Mary's has won half of this tournament. There's been 22 tournaments. St. Mary's has won 11. Glasgow's looking for number 5. So Lily Newhall has been staked to a 2-0 lead. Nine, 1, and 2 for the Rams. Kira Collins, the designated player. She's hitting for the right fielder, Mackenzie Shea. And then Maggie McHale, Amanda Wilkins. Down and away for a ball. Hit foul out of play. Kira Collins, the designated player. Multi-sport athlete. We're running out of softballs with all these foul balls. And the umpire didn't like the one they threw in. So we retrieved a few. We get them back. We'll get back to softball. Swing and a miss. Newhall said, here it comes. Collins said, I'm going to give it all I have, and she swung right through it. 1-2 the count. Down and away. Evens the count at 2. Swing and a miss. She's got the strikeout pitch working. That's her 5th. Maggie McHale struck out her first trip. They squeeze in a little bit in the infield and the outfield. Thinking she might try to slap or bunt. Down and away for a ball. High for a ball. Sun has disappeared for a while, but it's still really comfortable here. There's a breeze, but it's a nice, comfortable breeze, as opposed to the stone cold ice age breeze we were getting through most of this, virtually all of this spring season, supposedly. Down and in for a ball. Hit foul to the backstop. Good pitch for a strike, and the count goes full. Just got a piece and fouled it back. Hit the backstop and bounced all the way back to Lily Newhall. We'll do it again at 3-2. Strike three called on the corner. Carter looking. Amanda Wilkins struck out and had to be thrown out by Jordan Sullivan, the catcher. Amanda just missed making that great play. It would have been a double play, and St. Mary's would not have scored. D'Alessandro got the bunt down. And it would have been a double play. The runner was coming. Second baseman D'Alessandro goes out a few steps, went way to her left, out in the outfield grass, takes the pop away. Wilkins thought she had a base hit, looked like she had a base hit. D'Alessandro took it away. So the first 1-2-3 inning by either team. Newell gets a couple of more strikeouts. We finished 3 in this 23rd Holland Memorial Tournament Championship Final. St. Mary's 2, Classical nothing. I got a gentleman coming in who knows both these schools pretty well. Gene Constantino was a former girls basketball coach and principal at Classical, and now moved over to St. Mary's, and over there bring his talents to St. Mary's. And Gene, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who are you rooting for?
I'm in center field, John. Do you notice? Right in the middle. I'm hoping for a tie. Two great teams, two great bunch of kids. It's hard for me to be here, actually.
You can look at now you can see both ends of the spectrum, because most of these Classical kids, you knew them very well. And as I say all the time, they're really great kids. And now you're getting to know the St. Mary's kids, and you know that in the city of Lynn, we've got some outstanding young men and women.
Absolutely. Athletics in the city has been great the last few years. I see that at St. Mary's. I see at Classical, the baseball team did very well this year. The girls tennis team, unbelievable. You know, so all the athletics in the city have been great. I was just talking to Derek Dana, and I told him that my first year has been pretty lucky, because only twice did Classical play. They played, the girls soccer played against each other at St. Mary's and Classical, and then this game. so I was able to go and root for whatever team I wanted to watch. This game is a little bit difficult.
Well, you look at this and you say St. Mary's just. Derek Dana's here. He's almost in the same boat.
Yep.
He's the coach of St. Mary's. If the girls win, they win both. But by the same token, his daughter is the catcher for Classical,
Absolutely.
So he's kind of stuck in the middle too.
Absolutely. His daughter made him wear a Classical T-shirt. So.
But Gene, you've been you retired from Classical. You're at St. Mary's. You've been a big fixture in the city. You've been a great contributor to not just the athletes, but all of the students. You've done a great job in the city of Lynn. And Classical, now St. Mary's is very lucky to have you.
Thanks.
And you've done a great job.
Thanks a lot. And you've done a great job for the city as well. Thank you.
Try to enjoy the game.
Well.
Taylor Sullivan leads it off. She flied out to left field her one trip. Down and away for a ball. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Warren. Starts the fourth inning with a strikeout. Marina DiBiasio popped to short her one trip. This young lady is a very good hockey player. In for a strike. She's helped St. Mary's go deep into the hockey tournament the last couple of years. She's Marina. She gets to play with her sister Mia. Popped up. Wilkins on the run. Just too far. Wasn't hit high enough to give her time to get back there. So it wasn't from lack of effort. Wilkins, one of the team leaders of this softball team. She does a terrific job anchoring the infield. High for a ball. We're even at 2. To the Spartan right fielder. Wow, what a pitch to take. She changed up. That looked like you can't umpire from out here in right center, because that would have been strike 3 if I was the umpire out here. That couldn't have missed by more than an inch or 2. She took a long look at it. Foul tip, that was up and in. She took that pitch, it was a little off the plate. She swung at the pitch that was up and in. She held her breath on the pitch before that last one. Hit foul again by DiBiasio. Another foul ball. DiBiasio was wearing Warren out. Hit in the left center field. In the gap, she's going to wind up with a double. She just kept working until she got a pitch she liked. kept fouling pitches off. So St. Mary's has another runner in scoring position with one out. Katie O'Neill flied to center field her one trip. Low for a ball. Hit foul off the backstop. High for a ball. 2-1 the count to the Spartan third baseman here in the top of the fourth inning. St. Mary's on top 2-0, getting 2 in the third. Chops it to first base. Amanda Wilkins will make the play herself. Just kind of almost like she was chopping wood, swung down at that pitch. DiBiasio moves over to third. Jordan Sullivan started the 2-run uprising. She walked. Alyssa Grossi went in to run for her. Grossi did some very good base running. Drew a throw down the second and broke for third and stole third. Hit to third. Fessler with a nice play. Amanda Wilkins had to stretch a long way to get that, and it was dropped, and the run scored. Wilkins trying to stay on the bag, stretched as far as she could, and it just hit off her glove. DiBiasio scores. Julia Niccolo was the hitter. She singled and scored. She gets the bunt down. Nice play by Maddie Dana. Good hustle by Dana, the catcher. Popped out quickly, made the good strong throw. But DiBiasio manufactured a run. She got the double. Went to third, and the ground ball scored on the error. First error in the ball game didn't hurt. That error hurt. It expands the lead. St. Mary's leading it now 3-0. Derek. We're halfway through the ball game. St. Mary's added a run to their lead. They lead it now 3-0. So Newhall has a mistake to another run. She finally started an inning, the third inning, with a lead. Now she starts the fourth inning with an extra run lead. And Glasgow's got to go to work. They've only had 2 base runners, a 2-out single in the first, a 2-out walk in the second. We talked about before, almost everybody in the infield for St. Mary's is wearing a mask. The only person not is the first baseman, Talia Smaller. Kayla Morrow has the only hit for Classical. She got a 2-out single in the first. In for a strike. Kayla is the second baseman. Two quick strikes. Hold to the count as we're starting the bottom of the fourth inning. High and tight, ducked under that one. The 1-2 pitch from Newhall to Morrow. Thought about it, held up, the pitch was down and away. And the count evens at 2. Before the umpire said strike 3, Kayla Morrow was walking away. She knew she took it, knew it was a strike. Third inning out of 4 that she started the inning with a strikeout. Kara Edmonds struck out swinging in the first inning. 7 strikeouts for Newhall. 1 out into the fourth inning. Hit high in the air, drifting into foul territory. Almost standing on the third base bag was Katie O'Neill. One quick pitch to Edmonds gets the second out. Becca Walker grounded out second to first to 1 trip. In for a strike. Low for a ball. Slice foul off to the right side. Nice play by the fan. Swing and a miss. She gets 2 more strikeouts. The only inning she didn't get at least 2 was the second. She got 1. Second 1, 2, 3 inning. 7 in a row. 9 out of 10 retired by Newhall. We're through 4. St. Mary's in this 23rd John Holland Memorial Tournament. St. Mary's 3. Classical nothing at the end of 4. Top of the order, Christina Nowicki. She got to play a year with her sister Mia, who was one of the better pitchers we've seen around here in a long time. Pitching now in college. Christina reached an error. Last time out, she struck out swinging. High for a ball. Hit to the second baseman. Kayla Morrill, a few steps to her left, picks off that little soft pop. 1 up, 1 down in the 5th. Felicia D'Alessandro was perfect. She sacrificed in the first. She was looking to sacrifice in the third. The bunt popped up. Amanda Wilkins made a tremendous effort to pick it off, and it dropped for a base hit, and she wound up getting an RBI when the runner from third scored. It also sent a runner to third base and scored on the sacrifice fly when they got the 2 runs in the third. So her bunt was huge in that inning, turning out to be a base hit. It would have been the second out if Amanda Wilkins could have made an unbelievable play. And the fly ball that turned out to be a sacrifice fly would have been the third out. And actually, if Wilkins makes that great play, they wouldn't have scored at all because it would have been a double play. Late swing hit, yep, almost by her when she hit that one right to the first baseman, Wilkins. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th. Porzinski popped to the first baseman. Flied to right field and got an RBI with the sacrifice fly. Hit off the backstop, foul. Again, almost comes all the way out to Warren. Good pitch for a strike. Looked like Warren pulled the string a little bit. 0-2 the count. Porzinski is the St. Mary's shortstop. She's a very good hockey player as well. Again, didn't miss by much. Down and away for a ball. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th. St. Mary's is the visitors by way of a coin toss. Pop, foul, out of play. So we'll do it again at 2-2. Hit the shot. There's Walker with another nice play. First 1-2-3 inning. Actually, the second one for 1-2-3 inning. For Warren, she had one in the second. We'll move into the bottom half of the 5th. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Classical. Maddie Dana, Brooke Warren, Izzy Fessler facing Lily Newhall, who will start her 5th inning of work. She's retired 7 in a row, 9 out of 10. Classical only has 2 base runners, a 2-out single in the first, a 2-out walk in the second. She got 2 strikeouts in the third, 2 in the fourth. She only got 1 in the second, but she made up for it in the first by striking out the side. So she's averaging 2 an inning. She's got 8 through 4. Maddie Dana struck out swinging her 1 trip.
Leading off the classical in the bottom of the 5th inning is Maddie.
Maddie Dana, Brooke Warren, Izzy Fessler. Facing Lily Newhall. And she's only a freshman. And unless they fire her uncle from the AD and coaching spot at St. Mary's, she's going to finish out her high school career at St. Mary's. And boy, you look at her now as a freshman, it'll be interesting this year when she's a senior. Chopped off the foot of Dana. Hit high in the air. Porozinski, the shortstop. Few steps out in the outfield grass, makes the play. One up, one down in the 5th.
Number 2, Brooke Warren.
Brooke Warren drew a walk. Her first trip. Swing and a miss. Hit foul off the backstop. I was looking to see if they put a pinch hitter in. Looks like a different number. We're way out right center field, so it's hard to tell. Strike 3 called. Keeps her record intact. She's got at least 1 in every inning.
Now batting number 14, Izzy Fessler.
Izzy Fessler, the third baseman, popped out the first her 1 trip. Hit foul past third base. Hit foul again. We mentioned his 2 coaches. Erica Rich was a very good athlete at St. Mary's. Paige Licata, another very good athlete at Revere. And Paige Licata, one of her assistants, Afton Dean, just elected into the Lynn Classical Hall of Fame. Well deserved. Low for a ball. So the coaches on both sides, a lot of good athletes. Hit over the third baseman's head, foul ball. Looked fair going down, and it's just hooked out. 1-2 the count. Hit in the air, Nowicki on the run over the left center field, makes the play. Third straight, 1-2-3 inning. Newhall has retired 10 in a row. 12 out of 13. We're through 5 here in this 23rd Holland final. St. Mary's 3, Classical nothing. 4, 5, and 6 for the Spartans. Taylor Smaller, Taylor Sullivan, Marina DiBiasio.
Leading off for St. Mary's, number 36, Tyler Smaller.
Hit in the air to right field. Mackenzie Shea comes on and makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Now batting number 40, Taylor Sullivan.
Taylor Sullivan, fly to left, struck out swinging. Warren has pitched exceptionally well.
Oh, nice pitch! Nice pitch!
She was less than a half a step. Amanda Wilkins almost made a great play. If she makes it, right now we'll be looking at 1-0, and really, we wouldn't be looking at that because the run in the 4th inning, the throw over from third to first was just a little bit low, and Amanda Wilkins couldn't stay on the bag and hit off her glove, and the run from third scored. So this could very easily be 0-0. Warren's only given up 3 base hits. Down and away. Any other game for Warren should be ahead. Hit foul, out of play. Count stays 1-2. Off to the right, off to the left. Big blue skies, puffy white clouds. Right over right field, and right field on the baseball diamond is a black cloud that's floating by. But a gorgeous day here at the ballpark. Hit foul. One, two, the count. Taylor is a designated player. She's hitting for the pitcher, Newhall. High in the air to center field, drifting back. McHale is there to make the play. 2 up, 2 down.
Now batting number 17, Marina DiBiasio.
in for a strike. Marina DiBiasio popped the shot, doubled, and she was the one that scored on that. Would have been the third out at first base. Throw didn't quite make it there. And she was able to score the third run. Pop foul over the backstop, out of play. Fan made a nice play behind the backstop and threw it back. Oh, 2 the count. Up and away for a ball. Swing and a miss. She gets another strikeout. To show you how well she's pitching, we talked to, she's keeping her team in the game. That's her third 1-2-3 inning. She could have had 4 in the first inning. The first batter, the fly ball was dropped. She got the next 3 hitters. She's pitching extremely well. Except for an error in the fourth and inches on a bunt by Fessler in the third, it could very easily be 0-0. And of course, close only counts in horseshoes. Louis Newhall has just been tough. 2 base runners. 9 strikeouts. 1 base hit and a walk. And that's it. So she's retired 10 in a row. 12 out of 13. Minimum through 5 innings, you face 15 batters. Lily Newhall has faced 17. So she's only 2 over the limit. And she spread those 2 out. Nine, 1, and 2. Kira Collins struck out swinging her 1 trip. In for a strike. Newhall has been on top of just about every hitter throwing that first strike. Glasgow might think about hitting that first pitch. Swing and a miss. Didn't waste any time. 3 pitches. Again, she keeps her streak intact, at least 1 in every inning. That's her 10th. Maggie Michaela struck out twice. 1 swinging, 1 called. Gets the bunt down and beats it for a base hit. So that breaks the streak of 11 in a row retired by Newhall. Amanda Wilkins has struck out and popped to the second baseman. Glasgow looking to get something going. Hit in the air. Right fielder DiBiasio over to right center makes the play. Two-way, Kayla Morrow had the only hit up until the bunt by McHale. She singled last time up. She was called on strikes. Hit foul off the backstop. We're told you something's got to give. Both these teams, between the two of them, they've only lost 6 games, 3 apiece. Classville's won a dozen. St. Mary's has won a baker's dozen, 13. In for a strike. Quickly, it's 0-2. Swing and a miss. 4 innings. She's got 2 strikeouts, 3 in the first. She gets 2 more. They got a base hit. But again, they haven't had a run to the second base yet. They got 2 hits and a walk. Everybody left at first base. Classville's down to their last 3 outs. St. Mary's leading Classical 3-0 going into the 7th inning. We start the 7th inning. 7, 8, and 9 for St. Mary's. Katie O'Neill was flied to center, bounced to the first baseman. Slices it foul off to the right side. Down and away for a ball. Hit foul off the backstop. Hit the second base. They got vacuum cleaners there. Morrow at second, Walker at short, Wilkins at first. They got a very good infield. Fessler at third. In for a strike. Jordan Sullivan drew a walk. Alyssa Grossi ran for her, and Alyssa Grossi became a very big part of this softball game as a pinch runner. She was the one who went to second when Nicolo's bunt went over the head of Amanda Wilkins charging in, and it stayed fair. Hit in the air to left field. Coming on, Kiara Edmonds makes the play. Warren's given up 3 base hits. 2 of them were bunts, and 2 of them were just out of the reach. One was over the head of Wilkins down the first base line. The other one she missed by a matter of inches, diving in front of the plate. Those are 2 of the 3 hits. Just missed inside. Nicola was the one that bunted. She bunted over the head of Wilkins charging. It stayed fair. They gave her second base with first and third. And that bunt out in front of the plate, Nicola wound up at third with the runner scoring. And she scored on the sacrifice fly by Porozinski. Right down the pipe for strike three. Warren finishes up. If the score stays the same, she retires 10 in a row. She was outstanding on the mound. She walked one, struck out four, gave up 3 base hits, 2 of them bunts. Gave up the 3 runs, and the 3 runs, the one in the fourth scored on an error, would have been the third out, unearned. The 2 in the third, again, Amanda Wilkins was inches away from making a tremendous diving catch on a bunt. It turned out to be a base hit, a run scored, the runner moved to third and scored on a sacrifice fly. Those are the 3 runs. So Warren was immense. Lily Newhall's just been a little bit better, giving up only 2 hits. She spread the hits out. 2 outs in the first, 1 out in the 6th. For Classical, they'll have the middle of the order up, 4, 5, and 6. They need a rally. They're down 3. St. Mary's is looking for their 12th. They will be just over 50% of the tournaments played. And they'll get back on the winning track. They would have been looking for 3 in a row, but they lost a slugfest last year to Swampscott, 12-11. St. Mary's won 5 in a row. Swampscott broke their streak in 2015. And then St. Mary's won it 2 out of 3 from 16 to 18. Edmonds is struck out and popped to the third baseman. Fouls it back. Huskell's got to get some base runners. They've only had 3. Popped up, it's going to go out of play over the St. Mary's dugout. So we're down to the 7th inning in this 23rd John Holland Memorial Tournament. Again, a big tip of the hat to Babe Ruth. What a tremendous job they did. If you saw these fields the last week or 10 days, you'd be wondering how they could play 1 game. Never mind 4 here. And especially today with the rain this morning. Because as we mentioned, the slightest bit of rain, this field is underwater. One, 2 the count to the Rams left fielder. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter also. Hit high in the air to center field. Nowicki comes in and makes the play. Newhall had retired 11 in a row before McHale beat out that bunt. She was 13 out of 14 before that bunt. Becca Walker's grounded the second and struck out swinging. Hit foul. Down and in for a ball. And this week we had some very good baseball, the Clancy tournament. This game has been a very good game. Two pitchers have been outstanding. Hard to choose between the two. Up and away for a ball. Hit foul off the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Didn't miss by much. Two the count. Chase the high pitch for strike 3. So Newhall has at least 1 in every inning. She struck out 11. One out away from a masterpiece. Looking for her 4th 1-2-3 inning. Hit to the mound. What a fitting way to end a great pitching performance by Lily Newhall. She gets the play. She throws out the runner at first. And St. Mary's will pick up their 12th Holland Tournament with a masterpiece by Lily Newhall. 4 1-2-3 innings. At one point, she retired 11 in a row. Brooke Warren just ran into a buzzsaw. Warren almost pitch for pitch, but just came up shy. She was immense. Any other time, Brooke Warren would have won the game she pitched today. She gave up 3 base hits. 2 of them were bunts. Walked only 1. But unfortunately, she ran into Lily Newhall, who struck out 11, walked only 1, gave up only 2 base hits. One of them was a bunt. And the hits were 2 outs in the first, 1 out in the 6th. The walk was 2 outs in the second, and those are the only 3 base runners that Classical had. The game was decided in the 3rd inning. Jordan Sullivan drew a walk, and Paige Licata made the right choice. She put Alyssa Grossi in to run for her. Niccolo trying to sacrifice her to second. Wilkins busting in from first to try and take it away. They bunted. It popped over Wilkins' head, and when it bounced, it stayed fair. And both reached, so it was first and second. Grossi got a good size, a good distance off second base, and actually drew the throw down to second. She went to third, stealing third, and then Niccolo stole second to make it second and third. Fessler, another bunt, a great play by Wilkins, came up just shy. She made an all-out dive, almost made a great play. The ball bounced. Coming home was Alyssa Grossi with the run. On the play, Niccolo moved to third, and she scored on Porozinski's sacrifice fly, and that was all that Lily Newhall needed. They added a run in the 4th after an out. DiBiasio doubled, went to third on a ground ball by O'Neill, and the throw over from first base after 2 outs. Wilkins had to stretch as far as she could, try to stay on the bag. The throw was low. She got a glove on it, couldn't hold on. The run scored, made it 3-0. And that was the final score, 3-0, as Newhall just threw BB. She struck out 11, 2 base hits, one of them a bunt. Pitch for pitch, Warren virtually mastered her or copied her. And inches away, Amanda Wilkins makes that play, and the throw to first in the 4th inning is a little bit higher. We're still playing at 0-0. But St. Mary's got the benefit of the bunt that popped over Wilkins' head the first time and bounced inches away from Wilkins making a great play that would have been a double play. And it wound up 2 runs in the inning. The run in the 4th made it 3, and Lily Newhall made it stand up. Kayla Morrow got one of the hits. Maggie McHale got the bunt hit. The other base runner was Brooke Warren herself, drawing a walk, and that was it for Classical, as they struck out 11 times. For St. Mary's, Nowicki reached on an error. Belisandro had a sacrifice. She was the one that bunted that Wilkins almost made the great play on. She got an RBI. Porozinski got the RBI sacrifice fly. DiBiaso got the double and scored the run. Sullivan drew the walk. Grossi, with the great base running, was able to score the run. And Niccolo got the bunt single. So Warren gives up 3 hits. 2 of them were bunts that came very close to being caught. And instead of that, they wound up base hits. And both of them scored. So 3-0, St. Mary's wins it. We're looking now, the team's preparing to get the presentations of the awards. They'll announce the all-tournament team, the MVP, championship trophy, to be players from all the teams bringing home some hardware. Again, a tip of the hat. Dave Raymond and Jeff Earp are right there at the table. They did a tremendous job. Jeff Earp and the Babe Ruth putting the ad book together, getting everything going, making sure everything went well, lining everything up, making sure the fields were ready, and then having to come back and make sure the field was ready after rain this morning. So the Classical will pick up the runner-up trophy. It's going to be St. Mary's 11th title in 23 games. They'll start a new streak, they hope. Classical hopes they don't. Classical couldn't pick up their 6th. Not from lack of effort. Outstanding performance by Brooke Warren. St. Mary's coach and captains will pick up the championship hardware.
Christina Nowicki, Amelia DiBiaso.
Maria DiBiaso, Christina Nowicki, along with Paige Licata, accepting the hardware, getting photos taken by everybody. Something had to give. Both teams had 3 losses. St. Mary's picks up their 14th win. They go to 14-3. Classical will drop to 12-4. Classical's got, I think, a couple next week. If they win those, they should get a home game. St. Mary's should get a home game. We should be right back here at the Grace Regato Field tournament time. Kayla Morrow. Maggie McHale. And I believe the other one was Brooke Warren. If it wasn't, it should have been.
From St. Mary's. Both of them hitting home runs in last night's game. Taylor Sullivan, Jordan Sullivan.
The Sullivans, they had the 2-run home runs.
Third one is Katie O'Neill.
Taylor and Jordan. Katie O'Neill. pictures taken again. I'm kind of shocked. I don't see the journal here. Gary Schumann is usually front and center.
Okay, from Swampscott, Katie Watts.
From Swampscott, Katie Watts. Sydney Cresta and Chloe Rakoskis. Again, posing for pictures. Family, friends, and relatives.
Finally from Rhode English,
Alina Sierra.
and Ariana Wachowski.
Wachowski, the third baseman. And I don't know who the middle one is. Could be Julia Chen.
Last year, we introduced the Sportsmanship Award, and we'd like to present this year's Sportsmanship Award to Amanda Wilkins.
Amanda Wilkins. The Sportsmanship Award. She's an outstanding leader on that team. She keeps them going. She's a big part of the infield. She worked hard. She made a couple of really nice plays during the tournament, but she almost made that great play that, and if she made it, would still be playing. The MVP of the tournament, guess who? Lily Newhall, 11 strikeouts, gives up 2 base hits, one of them a bunt, walks only 1, pitches the shutout, and gets St. Mary's the 14th win to go 14-3.
With the scholarship presentation, the first scholarship we're going to award is
So again, congratulations to Jeff Rupp and Dave Raymond right there, giving out a few more awards. And I don't apologize, I don't know what these are. It's hard to pick up the announcements are not coming out very clear. They're giving out I'm sorry, I should have known. These are the scholarships giving out to the 4 teams. And Babe Ruth has done a nice job. Jeff Rupp and company went out and beat the Bushes, got sponsors. That's Maddie Dana, I believe.
and from St. Mary's, Mia DiBiasio.
Marina DiBiasio, I thought she was a sophomore.
Please come to the table.
Oh, excuse me, it's Mia. I think the St. Mary's player is Mia DiBiasio, the sister of Marina. She is a senior. Mia. So the awards have been given out. The tournament, a tremendous success. St. Mary's with 11 strikeouts, 2 hits, 1 walk. At one point, retiring 11 in a row. Lily Newhall leading the way. They bunched 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and that was all Lily Newhall needed. And again, a big tip of the hat to taking pictures now of the coaches, but a big tip of the hat to the Babe Ruth people. Jeff Rupp, Dave Raymond, and they had a bunch of people helping them to get this field in shape, get the tournament going, get everybody here, get the ad book, continue it going. We told you the Holland and the Conley family ran this for many years. They did a tremendous job, giving an awful lot of scholarships out, but it just ran its course with them because people moved. The John's kids and people got a little older. They had jobs they had to work at, and it looked like it was going to die. And Babe Ruth come up and said, "We'll take it over." And Jeff Earp and company has done a tremendous job, and they do a really outstanding. They went out and beat the bushes for sponsors to enable them to give the scholarships out and the trophies and awards to the individual winners. So congratulations to St. Mary's, congratulations to Classical. We wish them the best of luck. This is like a tune-up for the state championship for both teams. But congratulations also again to the great workers and the terrific people at Babe Ruth that put this on and made sure it went well, and all the people that were here got their money's worth. So for all the people behind the scenes, the camera people, the Clancy tournament's in the book, the Holland tournament's in the book. Now it's on to the state tournament, especially for these two teams. So the final score is St. Mary's 3, Classical nothing in the 23rd annual John Holland Memorial Tournament. I'm John Hoffman saying we hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.